Hi Aries, welcome to your mid-December 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here, and I'm connecting this reading to the solar eclipse, which is occurring in the sign of Sagittarius, and this is happening on December 14th. So for you, this is going to be the 9th house, which is the house that Sagittarius rules. And so it can promise new beginnings in the area of higher education and long distance travel and things that expand you, things that expand your perspective in life. It's also called the God house, so there may be some kind of spiritual opportunities that come your way in the coming months. So let's see what else is possible. I'm laughing because the Wheel of Fortune is connected to Jupiter, so that 9th house, you know. Interesting. You have a few major arcana cards here. So the heart of the matter is the Wheel of Fortune, which is a card that's associated with Jupiter and talks about, fortune. You can see how it would be related to Jupiter. But wheel connects to cycles. So you see the person falling off the wheel. So there are times in our life when things are just going great and everything, and then all of a sudden it's like, just it seems like things are everything is going wrong. And looking at it in terms of astrology and talking about the Jupiter cycle itself, for you have been dealing with Jupiter in an angular house in the 10th house of career, when it's been in Capricorn. And while that is certainly an area where it's great to have Jupiter, you may have had some career growth in the past year. It's kind of a tricky time to have Jupiter in the 10th house with all the shutdowns, but maybe you were one of the few signs that thrived during a lot of this. But anyway, it still is it forms a square to your sun or ascendant. And when I do these readings, it's a little bit confusing sometimes because people ask me if they should watch these if their rising sign is in that same sign. And tarot and the astrology are not the same thing. So I mix the two, and that's how it gets a little bit tricky, because when I'm talking about transits, I am talking about the rising sign as well. But maybe most of you are sun in Aries, so this would be your solar 10th house. And so now Jupiter is going into Aquarius in the second half of December, and I will talk more about that when I do the tarot update for the second half. And I've done your forecast, astrological forecast for December, so you can check out my channel for that. But basically, Aquarius is a friendlier angle to Aries. So perhaps you are going to see that some of your long-term goals come to fruition. The 11th house can relate to that. And but whatever is going on in your life, there may be something very positive that feels like you are starting to align yourself with things better. And that can certainly feel like a sense of relief at the very least. In the past position, we have the 7 of Wands, which is a card to me, of defending oneself and standing your ground. If this is related to a workplace kind of a situation, it may have been very tiring or unpleasant to be in an environment where you really weren't valued for what you brought to the job. So, you know, you may have been excessively criticized or something like that, and you just felt a sense of like lack of appreciation and things like that. And the Wheel of Fortune, to me, is all about possibilities, because you're entering a cycle where it's kind of becoming more abundant. So sometimes we might feel like we're going through a drought in our lives in a certain area where there's not a lot of abundance. You know, things seem kind of restricted and things like that. And when we get that sense that things are flowing better, there's a sense of relief that accompanies that. And the same thing applies when you're working for somebody, if you are working for somebody, because a lot of Aries people probably would prefer to work for themselves, if truth be told. But if you are working for somebody, that they are giving you credit, but that's not what I'm saying, not just credit. They trust you. They know that you're going to make the right decision, and they're not micromanaging you. The higher message is the Ten of Swords, which is a card of betrayal, but also a card which can say that the worst is over, that you've hit rock bottom, whatever this situation is, and this is now you're going into this cycle that is much more hopeful. Things are running more smoothly, and you can attract things easier into your reality. And that certainly would be nice if that were true. What crosses you is the Justice card. Justice card is connected to Libra, so if there's a Libra person, your opposite sign, who has shown themselves to be not someone who is on your side or anything like that, if you have had to deal with people who, maybe this is in the workplace too, that you are being treated unfairly compared to somebody else that should be, you know, that's in the same type of position, that can be very upsetting as well. And I think with those two cards, with the Ten of Swords and the Justice card, it's like you don't need any more proof that you are worthy of more than this. If this is like a romantic situation, a personal relationship, you may be in denial over the fact that this person has betrayed you, and you're like still holding on to something that isn't there. The Justice card in the challenged position can show that there was an imbalance in the relationship, and maybe you gave more than you received. And I'm not speaking, you know, financially or anything like that, although that might have factored into it, but I'm not specifically talking about that. I'm just talking about bringing energy to a situation. And that can lead to it being one-sided, for that other person to kind of treat you in a disrespectful way, that you're not deserving of being treated. And the Wheel of Fortune is like the gods are smiling on you right now. And so if you are like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It's like, no, you've got this. Also, with the Justice card in reverse, be careful of needing to, if this is like divorce or something like this, if you've already gone through the process of separating yourself from somebody or getting divorced or something like that, that you're not hoping that that other person is going to have to pay for something. I'm talking about, it's funny that we use the term I'm going to make them pay, because sometimes people take it out financially on the other person to try to hit them where it hurts. Usually, it's funny because I was just thinking about this, how Scorpio is a sign that I associate with vengefulness. And Scorpio, the original ruler of Scorpio was Mars, which is your ruler. And sometimes I think it is that Martian energy. And now, they have added Pluto later on to the planets ruling Scorpio. And sometimes I can see the vengefulness from Pluto as well. But it's really the Mars thing. And usually I think of Aries people as being too, optimistic and positive in their thoughts to seek revenge. But I think that there is a higher feeling of there has to be some kind of reckoning. Like the god of war, Aries, or Mars, I should say, is, hopefully when somebody would go into war, they're not doing so for any other reason but to fight for their freedom and fight for what's right. And because it's, war is not a good thing, obviously. So at least there should be some morals that are thought of when it's gone into like that. So maybe that's kind of what you are seeking yourself, and you're using the law to do it, instead of simply, like if you are married to somebody that you're trying to divorce from, that you simply say, I just want to be free from this obligation. I just want to be separated from this person, and you don't need any kind of revenge, because somebody may have betrayed you personally, and it feels very bad, and that warrior spirit might be like they have to get theirs, and it just keeps you tied to that person even longer. What's coming in is the Knight of Cups. This can be an offer that is given to you that is coming from a place of emotional, from affection, from gentleness. So if this is a person that comes into your life, it might have a totally different feel to it than what you were dealing with. When I think of that Seven of Wands, I think of somebody who may have been a fire sign just like you, and very aggressive towards you, very not very tender, not very caring. And this is a totally different vibe. In terms of work, similar situation where somebody may see a talent that you have that is more for the healing arts or the applied arts, and they want you to utilize your fire sign creativity to enhance their business, and you feel so appreciated by that. This is what I was trying to convey with the Seven of Wands, a sense of like this onslaught of criticism or what have you that makes you kind of, take up a wand in defense and try to fend off attacks. And that puts you in a defensive posture, and that's not a good place to be. And so this is this sense of caring, this sense of acceptance that is all that you have probably ever wanted from that situation. And the outcome is a Judgment card. This is the card that's associated with karma. It's baptism through fire. Maybe that's why they have that fire there. It's rebirth. And a sense of renewal, a sense of, reaping what you have sown. But, we always say that in an ominous way, but it can work both ways. If you fight for yourself, fight for your dignity, if you believe in yourself, Aries, I believe that the Wheel of Fortune will be turning in your favor, for sure. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. if you would like a look at 2021, a natal chart interpretation, a combination, yada yada, I have all kinds of readings, please click on the link below because you can find out more information. All my readings are on sale until the middle of December. I believe it's the 17th that I've set the end date for the sale. So please check it out. Have a great couple of weeks. Take care. Bye.